most important thing to know is that any dog can bite, right? When under the right circumstances, any dog, it's not just certain breeds or certain males versus females, dogs have a really limited way of telling us to stop. And if they're made uncomfortable and we don't listen to their early warning signs, any dog can bite. So there are a few things that we as both pet owners and as people interacting with dogs out in the world need to think about and remember. We want to make sure that when we approach dogs, we're not coming over their heads like this. We often see dogs will lean back, they'll look afraid, you'll see their ears go back. If we're approaching a dog, we want first to ask their owners always and make sure that the dogs are comfortable with it, that the dogs would like to greet them, allow the dogs to approach us, and then remember that the way that dogs greet each other is not face on, but coming around the side so we can pet them on their side. And then we always tell people to pet for a couple seconds and then stop. And if the dog wants to interact more, if they come back over toward you and solicit more attention, then you can pet them again and maybe come up around their ears, but not reaching over them, which can be really scary for some dogs. The other thing for us to remember is that socialization is really important for dogs in terms of what their fears are, what they're comfortable with, and children in particular can be really hard for dogs because children don't move like adults. Their movements are not predictable always. Their voices are very high. They're very excited, and they often don't have the inhibition to not just reach for dogs. And so especially dogs who aren't socialized with children, that can be incredibly intimidating and frightening, and that's why most of the dog bites that we see are to children, and often from dogs that they know. So especially when working with kids, we teach them a lot about not approaching a dog when they're sleeping, right? We don't want to startle them and wake them up. Not approaching a dog when they're eating, because that's, some dogs may be guarding their food, and that can be a really time when kids might just crawl up or walk up without expecting anything to happen then. Certainly not reaching for dogs that are in cars, looking out windows, so not reaching for dogs.